What's going on, Facebook Live? Welcome to beautiful Vancouver, Canada. We're hanging out at the Social Light Conference here, speaking to an amazing group of really fun entrepreneurs, people trying to make a social difference in the world. So Social Light is social entrepreneurs trying to make a difference in the world. Having a lot of fun hanging out with these guys this weekend. Wonderful people here that we definitely met. But as I was speaking to them yesterday, a reminder of life kind of popped up and just something that I've thought about a while. And it finally came to my head, and I just thought I would share it with you on here. Just a really, really simple message, and it has to do with the fact that everything in life is either growing or dying. And if I were you, I'd look at my life and just comb through and say, where in my life right now do I have a plan? Am I working really hard? Am I really focused? And I'm seeing consistent, solid progress and growth happening. And if I'm really honest with myself, where in my life right now have I kind of not paid attention to, not put a lot of time and effort in, not really focused on, and I'm starting to see it slide or start to die off. And the belief here is if you watch a tree, it grows and grows and grows and grows and grows. And the moment that tree stops growing, it starts dying, literally. Like it grows and grows and grows, it gives fruit, it gives flowers, and the instant that it stops giving fruit, the instant that it stops giving life, all of a sudden it starts to deteriorate. And over time, it'll start to die and die and die to the point that it's no longer, and circle of life happens. So again, where in life are you growing currently and you're focused on, you're putting a lot of time and effort and energy in, and where in life are you actually dying? And that part of your life is slowly fading away because you're not giving it the time, effort, or energy that really you need to be. Hello, everyone who's popping on. I see all the numbers changing up there. I hope you're having an amazing day. We're in Vancouver, Canada, hanging out here, a little live chat. So as you're thinking about this life and death aspect, it's a really easy way to put different aspects of your life into their own space and say, where in my life am I growing? Put those categories of life. Where in my life am I currently dying because I'm not paying attention and or focusing or working? And you put those in order and then say, what do I have to do? What small actions can I start taking daily? What big actions can I start taking to see the growth, to see the momentum, to see the progress in that area of my life? It's not a very complicated thing to think about. The scary part, though, is some people, they'll be growing. They'll kind of forget about that area of life because it's doing okay for right now. They'll leave it be. And they'll start focusing on other stuff. They'll get so busy building their business. They'll get so busy, working towards something going on. And hey, Ben, nice to see you. Yep, live chat on Facebook. UK, awesome. We're in Vancouver, Canada. Cameron, good to see you on here. It's a very cool. It's called Facebook Live. It's a very cool feature they've produced for us. And so in that piece where you're growing and you're expanding and you're trying to become more, those areas of life that you stop paying attention to and they slowly start fading away. The scary part is some people, you can see when things start to fade away. So on the outside, physically their body starts to deteriorate, or physically their business starts to kind of slow down and deteriorate. The scary part, though, is there's some people who literally they start to kind of fade away or die away or deteriorate from the inside out. So on the outside, they look like this strong, healthy, fantastic human being who's so successful in life and everything looks so great. But on the inside, they stop growing and slowly it starts to fade away. And if you're familiar with trees at all, there's some trees that this happens to where it starts, it gives fruit, it grows, it gives all this amazing fruit and flower, but then it starts dying and it hollows itself out from the inside out. And some of these trees, they look like these big, giant, mighty, strong trees. On the outside, you go push them, and it's hollow. It just cracks straight through because the only thing left is the outside bark that makes it look strong. And there's a lot of people walking around nowadays living their life with that exact situation going on. Externally, they look like this healthy, happy, strong human being. Internally, they've slowly faded away. They've stopped doing the necessary routines and habits every day that help them mentally, emotionally, physically become the strongest, healthiest, happiest, most fulfilled version of themselves. And as they stop doing those things, they slowly start to fade away as a human being till they find themselves being kind of that empty, hollow shell of a person walking around, feeling like an imposter on the inside, feeling frustrated, feeling lost in life, yet everyone else high-fives them and says, oh, congrats, you're doing so great, you're so amazing. But that's not how they feel on the inside. So how to choose life in this situation and how to bring yourself back to life really comes down to having a plan, consistently focusing on it, and consistently building it. Part of what sparked this too was right now I was doing my weekly planning. You can see this little journal here in the hotel. And, I'll read you one of these little segments and see what I talk about. I sat down. Brenda, nice to see you. I sat down this week and I said, you know what? What do I want in my health? We've been traveling a bunch. We just got back from Fiji. We're staying in a hotel right now. We did stop by Whole Foods, so we got some healthy food over there. Excuse the mess. Where stuff is everywhere right now. But we went and got some food, and I said, what do I really want in my health? And I said, this week, I'll read you the exact outcome I have. I want to amplify a rock-solid foundation to fuel my body with the optimum health and nutrition. I want to stay at 10% body fat or less, 210 pounds or less, more strength, more flexibility, more endurance. And I have key measurement ways to measure every single one of those pieces. A purpose. My belief is, I learned this from my dad, but you can have a goal of what you want to hit. The difference if you're going to make that goal happen or not comes down to really having a purpose, really having something emotionally that stimulates you, that when you speak it aloud or when you think about it, it brings you to life. And so the purpose, to cherish and nourish the temple that God has blessed me with, to prepare for a long, healthy, abundant life, and to fill and fuel my mind, body, and spirit every single day to the best of my ability. So I have a purpose, something that when I read aloud on those days when I wake up and I'm like, oh, I don't feel like working out, I'm exhausted, I'm tired, I have jet lag, whatever the excuse or story is that I'm telling myself, I go to this, I say, this is my outcome, this is why I want it. And that purpose has to be so clear and focused that when you read it, it literally just moves you to action. Where it doesn't matter how tired you are, how sore you are, how frustrated you are, how anything you are, it just ignites you from the inside out, and it compels you to go do something. Finally, the action plan, which is this third little segment. So I'll show you where these are. So the outcome's right there in the middle. The purpose is over here, and then the action plan's right over here. And on that action plan, it's really simple. I said, listen, how am I going to make this happen? How am I going to amplify my solid rock foundation of optimal health and nutrition, 10% body fat, 210% or 210 pounds or less, more strength, flexibility, and endurance? How am I going to do it? Simple. Hit the gym, lift 3 times a week, hour power and run daily for at least 2 miles, stretch and do yoga daily, super hydrate every day, track and measure my results every single day, and at least get 7.5 hours of sleep. Now, to me, there's a thought. When we're traveling on the road, a lot of our clients with one-on-one coaching face this, but when we're traveling on the road, we go with a philosophy that's minimum investment, maximum return. And if you're very, very busy, if you're building multiple companies, if you have a family, if you have kids, if you have things and people that are constantly pulling your attention and focus, and you don't have the luxury to say, hey, I'm going to spend an hour and a half in the gym today, if you're stuck in that position, you want to think of this process, this thought process of minimum investment, maximum return. Meaning, what's the minimum amount of things I need to do in my health and fitness to get the maximum amount of return, physically, mentally, emotionally, in this category of my life? Then you go to the emotions. Same thing. Set it up. What's your outcome? What do you want to experience this week? So many people are purely living in reaction to whatever life throws their way versus saying, hey, no matter what happens this week, these are the 5, 10, 20 emotions that I'm going to choose to consistently reinforce every single day. I'm going to purposely, fuel my mind and body with these emotions and find a way to experience them throughout the week so that I choose to feel this way no matter what life's throwing my way. Again, have a purpose, have an action set. Some of the things for emotions that I do each week, just to throw it out there as options for you or an example. I do an hour power, which is my morning routine every day, a gratitude journal every night, celebrate victories, meditate every day, powerful state changes, so catch myself when I'm in an unresourceful state, stand up, shake out my body, turn on some music, move around, change my state. From there, practice any unresourceful emotional state you go into, frustration, anger, whatever, practice, really truly getting angry and then snapping out of it and training your body that the moment it goes to that place, it's a trigger to set you off into a more powerful, positive emotion. Finally, the last piece here is pour my heart and soul into everything that I do. I'm a very logical person, so sometimes I'll catch myself sitting back and just thinking about stuff. And I realize when I think about stuff, I miss the opportunity to experience the bliss of it emotionally. So I've trained myself that whenever I catch myself just thinking, to pour my heart and soul emotionally into it and get passionate about it and get excited about it and watch what happens to the experience, not only of people around me, but what I get to experience out of it because I'm allowing myself to unleash all those emotions versus hold them in and just logically think about the whole time. Anyways, so we're talking about choosing life or allowing, where you're growing or where you're dying in life. There's a simple little system: know your outcome, know your purpose of why it's a must, and come up with your action plan of how you're going to make it happen. But the other piece here is really making sure that you're constantly combing through each area of your life. And as you can see, I'll show you a past week. Every week we comb through this, and I go through and I look at what happened last week. Over here, what was great about my week, what I learned, and what needs to be improved for next week, and I write down all the answers. Then from there, we just chunk it in. Here's the outcome in the green and orange there. The orange is stuff I missed. The green is stuff we hit. Then the purpose on the right, the outcome or the action plan on the left. And we go through and we do this every week to plan it out, organize it, and make sure that we're absolutely kicking ass at life. And we're catching ourselves if we're off track. We're catching what's sliding. We're catching where we might be slowly starting to die by not paying attention to it. And we're amplifying it, getting right back on track and pushing ourselves back towards the results to really get the most out of it. So this is how we kind of plan and organize the main outcomes of our week. And then from there we go and we time chunk it down and organize it hour by hour into our week so we know exactly what's going to happen every single day of the week. Anyways, this is a tool we use with our clients. I hope it's helpful for you. This is a tool we use ourselves every week as well. And it's a tool we're going to be teaching our new coaches how to coach other people through and how to use themselves. Of course, Craig, what's up, man? Good to see you. Glad to be able to share. Cameron, glad to share. Glad it hits and helps. I'm going to jump. I have to finish my planning, and I have a group at Socialite that I have to run down and do a speech for in a little bit here, but I wanted to jump on, say hello since we're back in, I guess, the vicinity. We're in Vancouver, almost back in the U.S., but I wanted to share a little bit. Hopefully the content's helpful. If you found it helpful, please hit the share button, pass it on, spread it all over. We'd love to reach more people with our message, love to reach more people there. If you're interested in more tools like this, increasing your personal performance, communication skills, if you are a coach looking for more tools, or you're someone considering becoming a coach, please visit performancecoachuniversity.com and join us for an upcoming training. Ben, send me a direct message on here. I answer them personally. Cameron, great to see you, man. Brendan, absolutely. I would say my email, but I will get a bunch of emails if I say it. Please send me a direct message on here. I can give it to you there. Anyways, have a great day, everyone. I'll talk to you later. Bye.